Haven approximated man's half-forgotten birthplace. It was Earth, but an Earth glamorized and inaccurately remembered. It was a gigantic half-dome honeycombed with cells that made a shell arched over a great public room below. Each cell could be blocked off, or a rearrangement of penetrating rays could give you the illusion of being in the midst of an immense, crowded room. Or you could use the architect's original plan and enjoy the illusion of a terrestrial background. True, palms and pines seemed to grow out of the same surrogate soil. Grapes and roses and blossoming fruit trees shouldered one another. But since these were merely clever images, they did not matter except to the purist, and only scholars really knew the difference. Seasons had become an exotic piece of history. It was a strange and glamorous thought, the rhythmic equinoxes, Earth's face changing from green and brown to glittering blue-white, and then the magic of pale green blades pushing up and green buds breaking from the trees, and all this naturally, inevitably, unlike the controlled growth of hydroponics. Kedry Walton and Sam Reed came to Haven. From the stage where they entered, they could look up at that immense shining hemisphere, crowded with glittering cells like fragments of a bright exploded dream, shifting and floating, rising and falling in the intricate light currents. Down below, very far away, was the bar, a serpentine black shape where men and women made centipede legs for its twisting body. Kedry spoke into a microphone. One of the circling cells moved in its orbit and bumped gently against the landing stage. They stepped inside, and the swaying underfoot told Sam that they were afloat again. Leaning among cushions by the low table were a man and a woman. Sam knew the man by sight. He was Zachariah Harker, oldest of one of the great Immortal families. He was a big man, long-boned, fine of line. His face a curious mixture of, not age, but experience, maturity, contrasting with the ageless youth that kept his features fresh and unlined. He had a smoothness that came from within, smooth assurance, smooth courtesy, smooth and quiet wisdom. The woman. "Sorry, my dear," Kedry said. "I've brought you a guest. Sorry is my granddaughter. Zachariah, this is... I don't know his name. He wouldn't tell me." Sari Walton had the delicate, disdainful face that was apparently a family characteristic. Her hair was an improbable green gold, falling with careful disorder loose over her bare shoulders. She wore a tight garment of the very fine fur of a landside beast, plucked down to the undercoat, which was as short and thick as velvet, and patterned with shadowy stripes like a tiger. Thin and flexible as cloth, it sheathed her tightly to the knees, and lay in broad folds about her ankles. The two Immortals looked up, surprise showing briefly on their faces. Sam was aware of a quick surge of resentment that they should be surprised. He felt suddenly clumsy, conscious of his thick body and his utter unlikeness to these aristocrats. And he felt, too, his immaturity. As a child resents his elders, Sam resented the superior knowledge implicit upon these handsome, quiet features. "Sit down." Kedry waved to the cushions. Stiffly, Sam lowered himself, accepted a drink, sat watching the averted faces of his hosts with a hot resentment he did not try to hide. Why should he? Kedry said, "I was thinking of the free companion when I brought him here. What is your name? Or shall I give you one?" Sullenly, Sam told her. She lay back among the cushions, the gold rings gleaming softly on her hand as she raised her drink. She looked at ease, gracefully comfortable, but there was a subtle tension in her that Sam could sense. He wondered if the others could. "I'd better explain to you first, Sam Reed," she said, "that for 20 years now I've been in contemplation." He knew what that meant, a sort of intellectual nunnery, a high religion of the mind, wherein the acolyte retires from the world in an attempt to find, well, what is indescribable when found. Nirvana? No. Stasis, perhaps. Peace. Balance. He knew somewhat more of the Immortals than they probably suspected.